Welcome to Car and Driver. This is a 2024 Chevy Trax that we've driven for 40,000 miles. It's part of our long-term test fleet where we aim to do that many miles in about a year or so to simulate what your new car might be like to live with for the first few years of ownership. Now, we like to treat the vehicles in this test the way owners might. So for this Trax, that meant lots of time commuting, long distance drives, shopping, commuting, Michigan winters, commuting. Have I said commuting? We did a lot of that. Also, a deer auditioned for its hood ornament. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and what you should expect if you were to buy one. One of the biggest reasons why we put the Trax on our 2024 10 Best list was its value. Consider the spread between the base LS and this top-tier active trim is a mere $3,500. With a Porsche, you can pay more than that just to upgrade the seats. One of the reasons why we chose the active trim over the similarly priced 2RS were the wheels and tires. With the active, you get 55 series tires on 18-inch wheels, and in the 2RS, you get 45 series tires on 19s. Bigger diameter wheels look better, of course, but more tire sidewall means a more comfortable ride, and that seems to make more sense with a vehicle like the Trax. Now, for this trim at about 25 grand, you get a nice array of features, including a heated steering wheel, 11-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto. Now, on top of that, we added packages that got us things like a sunroof, wireless device charging, and adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring. All that brought the total to a deeply reasonable $26,540. So yes, the Trax is a cheap car, but not in the sense that it's bad. Quite the opposite, actually. In fact, you could argue we spent the past 40,000 miles trying to figure out where Chevy hid the penalty box, right? Let's start with the design. This is a sharp-looking vehicle, and especially in this cacti green paint, it just looks kind of nice. This vehicle got way more compliments than you might expect. In fact, I can still remember the first time I was at a Costco parking lot and this guy gave me a thumbs up. I thought he was doing it sarcastically, but no, he really liked the way this thing looks. That's great, especially for a vehicle at this price. Then there's the ride and handling. You have a simple torsion beam rear suspension, but generally this vehicle is pretty well composed for what it is. We also like the steering, which is light but balanced enough to give you a sense of confidence and solidity from behind the wheel. Then there's the interior layout and space. All the gauges are very easy to see. The layout makes a lot of sense. The materials, you can see some of the cost cutting, let's say. But overall, this is an easy interior to use. We like the fact that there are still physical controls. You have to go into the touchscreen to do some things, but it's less touchscreen intensive than some other manufacturers trying to be today, which is very refreshing. We also really like these covert audio controls that you get behind the steering wheel. Some other automakers do them too, and they're always pleasant to have because you can adjust volume without moving your hand off the wheel. That's nice. As for the interior space, it's a pretty nice place to be, and taller drivers found space even with the sunroof. It's pretty easy for them to get comfortable according to the notes in the logbook. We also appreciated the large back seat and the generous cargo room. In short, this is a pleasant and easy car to live with. Now's where we talk about the engine. You have a 137 horsepower turbocharged 3-cylinder, and it's fine for city duties, but on the freeway, it quickly runs out of breath. In our testing, it reached 60 in 8.8 seconds, the quarter mile in 16.7 seconds at 82 miles an hour, roughly. And that makes this vehicle objectively slow. Planning for passing maneuvers takes a fair amount of preparation, maybe a little bit of faith, and that's just something you got to keep in mind when trying to keep pace on the freeways out here in the Midwest. As for the other things we didn't like, well, it has a rather large 38-foot turning radius. The 6-speaker audio system is fine for podcasts, but for actual music, it's a bit of a letdown. At one point, we considered actually upgrading the speakers. Hard plastic door panels and armrests have the approximate plushness of granite countertops. Lastly, the infotainment system occasionally suffered from mood swings that led to laggy responses to inputs. We couldn't establish a direct cause or pattern for the behavior, so we just chalked it up to it needing a bit more processing power in reserve. Service was as straightforward as it gets, with thankfully minimal dealership shenanigans. There's a service interval every 7,500 miles or so that calls for oil filter inspection, all that stuff. At the dealership, that cost us $110. The only other cost additions, there were two, one at 23,000 miles for a cabin air filter change and one at 32,000 miles for an engine air filter change. Those are jobs that are easy enough for you to do at home if you want to save some cash. The only bit of real bad news happened at about 16,000 miles when the Trax had a sudden and quite frank exchange of ideas with a deer. The driver was fine, the deer was, well, the car was not fine. It cost about $7,000, just about that much, to replace this entire front fascia from all the damage. The Trax being a front-wheel drive only proposition, well, you might assume it would enter winter with a handicap. We countered by installing a set of Bridgestone Windtrack Pro winter tires for the season, and it worked out great. One editor took it to Canada's snow belt and said it was, quote, utterly unperturbed by the snow and ice up there. Traction wasn't the limiting factor. Ground clearance and common sense were, right? Lake effect drifts can still win, but for most of your commuting needs during the freeze-thaw period, this Trax proved the point that we keep making, which is a good set of winter tires will beat all-wheel drive equipped with all seasons every time. Now, winter was also a time where we really appreciated the fact that this thing comes with remote start, heated seats, and heated steering at this price level. Over the course of 40,000 miles, we averaged 28 mpg, which is, let's face it, not a great figure. It's a little bit shy of the EPA combined figure. But we also attribute it to, let's say, our staff's enthusiastic driving style, some of the efficiency limitations you get with winter tires, and also the fact that in order to drive this at Michigan freeway speeds, you need to really lean on the engine for extended periods of time. So just know that before you buy one. The Trax is proof that Chevrolet is capable of building a thoughtful, handsome, and comfortable small crossover that doesn't feel like it was designed by the accounting department. It performs every task you'd hope it would accomplish, whether you're hauling passengers or cargo in relative comfort, and it over-delivers on what you expect given how much it costs. This is an excellent vehicle for those who want something that's practical and affordable, but don't necessarily need a whole new personality. We say that because this is far from exciting, but it is fundamentally good.